So I'm walking up to the entrance, which is a shared entrance by both sides. I've had a lot of ice and snow, and I've been salting the stairs. Finally got it pretty clear. That's one thing a landlord has to take care of, is making sure that the area is safe, and either come out and do the work yourself or contract for a company that is reliable that will come out, take care of snow and ice whenever it snows, and make sure that you've got someone who can verify it's being done. If it's a vacant building that you're fixing up, you'll need to come out and do it yourself, or have a contractor just send you a picture. Maybe you've got a property manager. If you have tenants, you can have them check in with you and be sure to let you know of any problems or issues. So what we're going to do is walk inside this unit here. You might be able to hear some fans running. We had a pipe freeze over the weekend and a lot of water damage. So this is something that you might be able to expect if you buy a house that's got old plumbing. If your place isn't winterized correctly, any number of reasons that a pipe could burst, or you could get water damage. It's pretty common, and it's super important to make sure that your insurance coverage has good and clear water coverage for your rental units. So let's take a walk inside. Alrighty, so you can look around behind me. It looks okay here. Ceilings look nice until we get up to here. This entire front ceiling section has collapsed. You can see up in here in the rafters there's Kills primer in there, but not over here. So this side back here actually was just replaced last fall for a water leak from a different unrelated problem. So this was an older section. If you look up there a little more closely, you can see there's a lot of rusty nails there. I don't know how old that drywall is, but it had been installed a while ago. So all that's going to come out and get replaced. Coming back here, I had the company come out to check the moisture, and so anywhere they have green tape is areas where the wall is moist. Now the bathroom is up there. It's one floor up behind this wall. So the water came out of the bathroom and tracked along the ceiling and came out here through the older, more damaged drywall. Now this ceiling drywall here probably will need to be replaced. It may be detached. We won't know for sure until they get up there and poke around. But just because the drywall is intact doesn't mean that there may not be water damage there. Just because you can't see anything doesn't mean that there's not some damage that needs to be addressed. Another interesting thing over here on this wall, you can see this tape seam here. So this wall, I believe the bottom half had been replaced last year, and this was originally here. And so there's a seam here. Before this water leak, it looked great. It looked like a solid wall, but now this water leak has saturated the wall. That's what the green tape is showing, locations where it's damp. And so this will need to be dried out and repaired. Hopefully we can leave the drywall, dry it out. They're going to bake it, which means put some heaters in here and bake the moisture out. Fans, which you can hear running in the background, I've put up myself. You can see a couple of fans there, a fan over there, trying to create a whirlpool effect and circulate the air. Here in the kitchen, I've got a heavy-duty dry pod on the floor, which is a fan that's designed to direct air directly at the floor and then out. So it's great for drying wet basement floors. I turned it off just because of the noise level in here. Bathroom was right above me, so you can see there's ceiling damage here. You can see a tape seam right in the middle, and again the green tape is where there's moisture, so this whole ceiling will probably need to come out. And again, it's interesting, this section up here that fell down, this was old drywall that was there when I purchased the property. The rest of the drywall we renovated last fall, and so this is all new. So even though this may need to come out still, I just find it pretty interesting that this was structurally sound and didn't collapse. So again, just because you don't see any damage with your eyes doesn't mean there may not be issues underneath. So it's really important to get a mitigation company who has experience doing this to come out. Some of the other signs that you'll see water damage, this is fresh paint that bubbled. It was filled with water, and we poked some holes in here so the water could drain out. Notice it's right above a GFCI circuit. This one here is not working, so we're gonna need to have an electrician take a look at that. I'm not gonna mess with it. New cabinets in here as well. There was standing water around the sink. The cabinets seem okay right now. They open and close, there's no swelling. But as things dry out, swelling can show up in the form of, you know, pretzel shaped or a Pringle shaped or cup shaped edges of the wood. So again, just because you don't see damage doesn't mean that there may not be some damage to take care of. So we're heading down the steps now to the basement and garage. You can see some stains on the floor here where there was pooled water. Fortunately, because this house sits at the base of a hillside, this back wall here is underground, whereas the opposite wall is completely above ground. I think the ground level may be right about there because the gas line comes in underneath, but it's on a hillside. So because of this back wall here, it was damp when I bought the house. And I'll show you some of the things that I have installed in order to minimize damage in another video, or minimize moisture in another video. But because of that work I'd already done, the basement already had a dehumidifier. I already had fans hanging out here, so we just turned the fan on. And this is really cool. This is a fan in the utility room that vents directly to the outside. You can see the fan is not running, and you can't see through the slats there. It's activated by humidity level, so you can set the humidity. It's at about 45, so I'm just going to turn it down so you can see the fan activate. All right, so the humidity is probably about 45 right now. I turned it down to 40, and the fan turned on. So this is a fantastic way to vent all this moisture that's in the garage and the basement. And then here's the garage, and again, it looks okay. The ceiling looks pretty intact. This is all brand new ceiling. If we come back here, there is peeling paint here, an open seam of the drywall, and if I were tall enough, I could stick my fingers up in there and it's separated from the beams above it. So this is gonna need to come down as well. Other little signs here, there's bubbled paint on this. This is the wall between the garage and the drywall. Sounds a little soft to me, but this will probably need to come down. And the tape here marks the extent of the moisture. So the moisture came down from the bathroom. This is the middle of the house right here. And that moisture ran along the kitchen floor, which is up in this back corner. And it spread along here. You can see this whole area is bubbled with paint. There's no water there now. And it's moist clear out to the edges here. So this is going to take a fair amount of mitigation, dehumidification, air circulation, heating fans to bake the area to increase the evaporation. But basically you need to circulate air, you need to dehumidify the air, it needs a way to escape in order to get everything dried out. Until it's dried out, you won't know how much damage you have. So we'll just run upstairs and you can see what a broken pipe looks like if you've never seen that. Now we're going up to the second floor. Here's the bathroom. The bathroom is actually pretty good. There's not a lot of dampness here. There's a little bit on the floor. The pipe that burst was right behind here, these supply pipes, but it went the opposite way, following the path of least resistance. And here is closet access and an access panel. We never closed that up, which I'm happy about now. If you look carefully in there, there's a couple of splits in the pipe. There's a split pipe, and then there's a joint that came undone due to the freezing weather. So you may want to know, why did the pipes freeze? Well, this house has a battery activated thermostat, which I didn't know was a thing until this happened last weekend. So lots of things that you learn as a new homeowner or a new rental owner. So here's a thermostat right here. There's 2 AAA batteries in there. They had gone bad, and so the house wasn't being heated. So it's been quite a number of lessons for me. I hope that by sharing this with you, you can learn some of the things to look out for in your rentals. So good luck, leave a comment, if you have questions. This is a learning experience for all of us. And I know that people who are super experienced, or maybe there's some contractors or builders watching this, obviously these are things that you already know, but you're not required to know these things when you buy a house. So hopefully I can help you learn some of the pitfalls and things to look out for. Thanks a lot. Enjoy.